Join Samantha and Hans at the next Macro to Micro Options Power Hour, held each Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Registration is free. Scan this QR code or click on the link in the description.
But the thing that I think is interesting in this environment is that all of these flows have to be changing so dramatically because of the way that all these assets are shifting. And then you look at like margin rates and, short, rates and all these other things. I don't know that those flows are working in the same method that they did two months ago or even necessarily 2 weeks ago. So that's one of the things that I have here. And then, it also goes back to the idea of like, we always watch Gamma by Strike, and we had to tell everybody, it was like this mea culpa, like we're going to stop talking about that right now, because in this environment, it doesn't matter. That flow is not going to matter like it historically does, because the political landscape and everything is changing so drastically to the point of people repatriating dollars out of the United States. Or I can't tell you if that's true or not.
Bingo. Oh no, I can. That's exactly what I follow. No, that's 100% my focus is where is the money flowing and who is doing the buying, the selling, and what's going on right now. And you can already see major developed economies, right? You got a euro that's up 11% year to date. You've got the Swiss franc up 12%. They don't even show the Polish. The point is the money, it's gone home. And more importantly, it's also staying home. And then it's transacting trade and related amongst themselves or settling in gold. So this is really a situation where you're right. The CTA flows and the like don't have the same power that they used to. By the way, this is a data trek chart in case you're curious, the source. Now, what about your dealer positioning? Before I ask you that, real quick, can I show you something?
Yeah, please.
As you said, you were talking about volatility. All right, so let's just see if you can see this. I have a very different thesis on volatility, Brent. I don't think it's done. So at the beginning of the year where everyone was,
Meaning you don't think new highs? I mean, you think new highs are coming?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So at the beginning of the year when everyone has these, huge outsized 6,500, 7,000 SPX. I'm like, no 7,500 hat for me was the title of my client post. And I do these intermarket reviews, which you say macro is my thing. It's really intermarket. I use macro as a backdrop for the trigger for the event risk. This is my thing. But I said volatility, 2025 is going to be the year of volatility. And this is a funky little chart and it's ugly as could be, but it's my personal favorite. And you all have to have a language in which you can interpret the market. You got yours, Hans has his. These intermarket relationships are huge to me, cross-asset analysis. This is, back in the 2000, that's VIX underneath, by the way, just to kind of show you. And this indicator that I'm using right here is a stock bond ratio. Now, if you kind of notice from the great financial crisis, as this is moving lower, the market's moving higher, right? But it has a point where it starts to go sideways and this blue line starts to flatten out. And then, by the way, we get QE and the, market goes up and this ratio falls and then we go sideways. This happened to be, repo and 2019, there was a little, drama there. And then we get into this, that was 2019, sorry. That was the oil industry recession. Then we had COVID and you know what happened with VIX, it's way the heck up here. And then recently we had August 5th convexity rally where VIX hit 65. It doesn't even show up here, but the VIX 60 does. But look how this is still moving up. Like this has not even flattened out. So I think that this is not done. I think we're going to have waves of volatility. And this is one of the funky things that I use to kind of track when we have a regime of falling volatility. And that's an intermarket tell that I use. And I know I'm looking at the big picture monthly, but I do it on a weekly, I do it on a daily. Heck, I even do it intraday now. I'm so fascinated. But the point is, I don't think this volatility is done this year at all.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly don't.
We don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, I don't disagree with the volatility. I don't think it's going away, but the higher highs we'll see. And so much of what drives that volatility is that real lack of liquidity, right? And so, certainly any more shifting around in the credit markets and playing there just dries up that equity bid, right? So those spreads widen out, what's available on the bid and offer go away. And not only did that happen, we had record equity volume and record options volume at that same time that liquidity just disappeared. And the result is these 400 or 500 handle moves that you get up and down in the matter of 7-8 minutes, stuff that I've never seen in my career. And that is just so indicative of just a very, very, very unhealthy and kind of like sick market. And you look at today, up 2.5% and back down another percent. Like these are things that you go back in time and you think over my 20-year career, it's like, I can't recall seeing this kind of stuff before.
Join Samantha and Hans at the next Macro to Micro Options Power Hour, held each Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Registration is free. Scan this QR code or click on the link in the description. Watch the full Options Macro to Micro Power Hour episode by clicking on the video here and subscribe to LaDucTrading YouTube channel for more content.